Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Radha Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Gaur Pimanande. Jayam Vishupad Paramahamsa Pri Vrajagacharya Stotra Satya Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Shirabhai Charanarvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Skandiviti Founder Charyas Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Daini Thai Gold Pimanande, all glories to the assembly devotees, all glories to the assembly devotees, all glories to the assembly devotees, all glories to see Guru and to see Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada Ki. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Sarakaya Taksurun militam jena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Parakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavam Scha Sri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vitam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Taptakan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vansakalpa Tarubhyasya Kipa Sindhu Vyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer our respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayesha badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart that becomes destroyed practically to nil, and a loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, whose praise with transcendental songs becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Sakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasayanam Mahat. This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Prabhu Nityananda,
Prabhu Nityananda,
Shri Advaita Gadadhara,
Shri Advaita Gadadhara,
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda,
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya,
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 Om Sarabhyaya Namaha,
Om Surabhyaya Namaha,
Om Sarabhyaya Namaha,
Om Surabhyaya Namaha,
Om Sarabhyaya Namaha.
Om Surabhyaya Namaha.
Mukam karoti vatalam pagum langayate girim yatkripa tamaham bande Shri Gurum Dinataram, yatkripa tamaham bande Shri Gurum Dinataram. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our morning Bhagavatam class, continuing from chapter 19, first canto, chapter entitled The Appearance of Shukadeva Goswami. Today's text number 19. Maharshayo Avai Samupagata Ye Prashasya
Prashasya
Sadhu
Sadhu
Sadhu Iti
Iti
Anumodamanaha Uchu
Uchu
Prajanugraha
Prajanugaha
Shila
Shila
Sara
Sara
Yad
Yat
Uttama Shloka
Uttama Shloka
Gunabhirunam
Gunabhirupam
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 Maharshayo Vai Samupagataye
Maharshayo Vai Samupagataye
Prashasya Sadvityanumodamanaha
Prashasya Sadvidyanumodamanaha
Ucho Prajanugraha Shilasara
Uchu Prajanugrashila Sara
Yaduttama Shloka Gunam Bhirupam
Yad Uttama Shloka Gunabhirupam
Mahasayo Vai Samupagataye
Maharishayo Vai Samupagataye
Prashasya Sadvityanumodamanaha
Prashasya Sadvidyanumodamanaha
Ucho Prajanugraha Shilasara
Uchu Prajanugrashila Sara
Yaduttama Shloka Gunabhirupam
Yad Uttama Shloka Gunabhirupam
Mahasayo Vai Samupagataye
Maharshayo Vai Samupagataye
Prashasya Sadvityanumodamanaha
Prashasya Sadvidyanumodamanaha
Uchu Prajanugraha Shilasara
Uchu Prajanugrashila Sara
Yaduttama Shloka Gunabhirupam
Yad Uttama Shloka Gunabhirupam
Mahasayove samupagataye
Maharshayo Vai Samupagataye
Pashasya sadvityanumodamanaha
Prashasya Sadvidyanumodamanaha
Uchupachanugraha Shirasara
उचु प्रजानुग्रहशील सारा
Yadutamashloka Gunavirupa
यदुत्तम श्लोक गुणाभिरूपम् महर्षयो वै समुपागता ये
Mahasayo vai samupagataye
प्रशस्य साद्वित्यनुमोदमानः
Prasasya sadvitya numodamanaha
उचु प्रजानुग्रहशील सारा
Ucho prajanu grahashila sara
यद उत्तम श्लोक गुणाभिरूपम्
Yad uttama sloka gunabhirupam
Maharsayo vai samupagataye
Maharsayo vai samupagataye
Prasasya sadvityanu
Prasasa sadvyatya numodamanaha
So prajanugraha silasara
Ucho prajanugraha shila sara
Yad uttama sloka gunabhirupam
Yad uttama sloka gunabhirupam Mahashaya The great sages
great sages
Vai as a matter of course
as a matter of course
Samupagataha assembled there
assembled there
Ye
ye
those who
those who
Prashasya
prashasya
by praising
by praising
Sadhu quite all right Iti thus Anumodamanaha all approving
all approving
Uchuhu
Uchu
said
said
Praja Anugraha
Praja Anugraha
doing good to the living being
doing good to the living being
Shila Saraha qualitatively powerful yet because Uttama Shloka
Uttama Shloka
one who is praised by selected poems Guna Abhirupam
Gunabhirupam
as beautiful as godly qualities. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai
Hare Krishna. Jai. All the great sages who were assembled there also praised the decision of Maharaj Parikshit, and they expressed their approval by saying, very good. Naturally, the sages are inclined to do good to common men, for they have all the qualitative powers of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, they were very much pleased to see Maharaj Parikshit, a devotee of the Lord, and they spoke as follows. Kindly repeat after me. All the great sages
all the great sages
who were assembled there
who were assembled there
also praised the decision
also praised the decision
of Maharaj Parikshit,
of Maharaj Parikshit
and they expressed their approval
and they expressed their approval
by saying very good.
by saying very good.
Naturally, the sages are inclined
Naturally, the sages are inclined
to do good to common men,
to do good to common men,
for they have all the qualitative powers
they have all the qualitative powers
of the Supreme Lord.
of the Supreme Lord.
Therefore, they were very much pleased
Therefore, they were very much pleased
to see Maharaj Parikshit,
to see Maharaj Parikshit,
a devotee of the Lord,
a devotee of God,
and they spoke as follows.
and spoke as follows.
Purport. The natural beauty of a living being is enhanced by his rising up to the platform of devotional service. Maharaj Parikshit was absorbed in attachment for Lord Krishna. Seeing this, the great sages assembled were very pleased, and they expressed their approval by saying, "Very good." Such sages are naturally inclined to do good to the common man. And when they see a personality like Maharaj Parikshit advance in devotional service, their pleasure knows no bounds, and they offer all blessings in their power. The devotional service of the Lord is so auspicious that all demigods and sages, up to the Lord Himself, become pleased with the devotee, and therefore the devotee finds everything auspicious. All inauspicious matters are removed from the path of a progressive devotee. Meeting all the great sages at the time of death was certainly auspicious for Maharaj Parikshit, and thus he was blessed by the so-called curse, a Brahmana's boy. Translation again. All the great sages who were assembled there also praised the decision of Maharaj Parikshit, and they expressed their approval by saying, "Very good." Naturally, the sages are inclined to do good to common men, for they have all the qualitative powers of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, they were very much pleased to see Maharaj Parikshit, a devotee of the Lord, and they spoke as follows. So Parikshit Maharaj is firmly sitting. The word firmly was used. Firmly sitting, not going anywhere. Firmly decided also to be at this very auspicious location on the banks of the Ganges, and also very auspicious to be surrounded by so many exalted personalities, brahmanas, saintly persons, great kings. Great kings, someone is a great king who is appreciating, understanding, and following the principles of Dharma, and who can recognize a great devotee of the Lord like Maharaj Parikshit. In the very first line of the purport, Prabhupada is expressing very nicely how when someone becomes a devotee, he becomes very attractive. Because by nature, devotee means someone who is slowly, gradually developing the natural qualities that originally come from Krishna. Krishna means all attractive. So devotees also naturally, as Prabhupada mentions here, the natural beauty of a living being is enhanced by his rising up to the platform of devotional service. Nice expression. That is the perfectional stage of existence, of life, to actually rise in devotional service, to advance in devotional service. As one advances in devotional service, uh, he develops these devotional qualities. Um, so many 26 qualities of a devotee. Um, he's very compassionate upon other living entities. He's very peaceful, very mild in his dealings with others. Uh, he's very patient, very tolerant, very um, very loving in his exchanges with other devotees. Always seeking to help and assist um, both devotees and non-devotees. So many wonderful qualities that are displayed actually throughout the pages of the Bhagavatam. So the way to bring people to Krishna consciousness, is through the Lord's devotees who are practicing Krishna consciousness and who are developing uh, these qualities. And therefore, here the sages present, um, they are they're very pleased to see Parikshit Maharaj. Um, they are accepting, acknowledging, approving his decision to sit and to be on the banks of the Ganges and to fast until death, uh, and to prepare himself um, for leaving his body. Mm. And in the verses to come, they will be in this way actually praising Parikshit Maharaj. So Prabhupada explains how devotees should always be pleased and happy to meet with other devotees for the purpose of actually uh, exchanging uh, exchanging their realizations in Krishna consciousness, their understanding, eager to hear and to uh, understand more about the Lord and the Lord's activities through such association of devotees. And therefore, devotees uh, are meant to seek out, devotees seek out the good association of such devotees. Parikshit Maharaj, um, although he was a householder, he was engaged in so-called material activities, being a king, being an emperor. But still, he was uh, an exalted and very advanced devotee of the Lord. This whole incident of his being cursed by the Brahmana boy demonstrates his level of advancement or level of Krishna consciousness. So in the purport, Prabhupada speaks about, he repeats quite a few times the word auspiciousness. Uh, all auspiciousness, that's actually um, one of the, in the very beginning of the nectar devotion, 6 qualities of devotional service. When one takes up devotional service, the beginning of all auspiciousness, uh, because Prabhupada uses the word also progressive. We should be eager to progress, to advance in devotional service, and that advancement in devotional service automatically comes when we put into practice, when we follow the various guidelines that are given. The whole nectar of devotion is full of such guidelines. Uh, it is described as the what's the undertitle? The scientific nectar devotion is described as the scientific, um, the science of um, yeah,
The complete science of Bhakti. The complete science of Bhakti.
the complete. I'm looking for that word. The complete science of bhakti, the complete science of devotional service. Everything in these literatures that are given by the Goswamis of Vrindavan, such as Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, and of course the whole Bhagavatam itself, it is complete, um, the complete science. um, and so this is the setting here. Uh, it is considered most auspicious if, and very often Krishna makes such nice arrangement that most auspicious to be surrounded by devotees, by sages when leaving our body. It doesn't happen always like that, but it's a auspicious auspicious sign. um, so we should be molding our lives in such a way that we are uh, creating as much auspiciousness as possible. Just like daily having darshan of the Lord is very auspicious. Daily having darshan of cows is also auspicious. Living with cows. So many uh, recommended practices are there actually in the Vedic culture. And naturally, the more we make our lives uh, auspicious in this way, then this favors our progress, our advancement in devotional service. Um, by nature, devotees are meant to be enlivened by the very process and activities of devotional service. Knowing that this uh, activity of bhakti, devotional service, um, is preparing us gradually to return to our eternal home in the spiritual world. So this is explained here in the text itself, that the great sages who were present mm, by nature they are meant to be well-wishers like Krishna. Sridham Sarvabhutanam. Krishna by nature is uh, the best friend and the well-wisher of all living entities. So his devotees, likewise, is one of the most, we could say, foremost qualities. So that is being mentioned here and displayed by these sages. And here describes also how they have all the qualitative powers of the Supreme Lord. They have all the qualitative powers. Mm. What are the qualitative powers of the Supreme Lord?
Six. Ishvara Samadhi
Yes,
Shri Rashi Yashasvi Jnana.
yes. They're full of knowledge, um, uh, very, uh, very renounced, uh, very powerful. So when one develops, the more one develops such qualities, then naturally uh, he can benefit the entire world. Uh, yes. So this is still preparing the scene. Um, we're at text number 20, and Shukadev Goswami has yet to appear. Uh, I guess he'll be appearing very soon. We can go to the next text, or if there's any comment or question.
Maharaj, it is said here that sadhu means quite alright.
Sadhu means
Quite alright in the translation word by word.
quite
Alright. Alright.
all right. Uh, and word for word translation.
Yes, yes.
One
So
second.
can we say that in the West, when somebody gives a good class, a good drama, we do like that. But can we say that in the Vedic culture, when somebody do a nice thing, we say sadhu sadhu.
Uh-huh.
That's the proper way. That's the proper way. I think.
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. Prabhupada translates in the word for word, but then in the purport, very good,
Very good. Yeah.
which is similar. Yes, sadhu, sadhu. So what's the?
So it means that in the we are supposed because somebody say okay, Maharaj very good class, something like that. So we are supposed to do sadhu. We are supposed to say sadhu sadhu when we appreciate. Huh?
Yes, yes. As opposed to clapping.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Western influence,
Yes.
which is all pervading. Yes, because most people, I mean, common people, they don't even know the word sadhu, uh, and because see, we are um, we are still, I would say, in the very early stages of manifesting the Vedic culture in all of its refined, aspects. Um, because, like in the Vedic culture, we meet and greet people, with folded hands, uh, and the Western way is to shake hands. Although it's interesting in the Bhagavatam, there is a purport where Lord Brahma shakes hands. Isn't it? Prabhupada uses that expression. Lord Brahma, he shook hands with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Um, I think it's a Kshatriya thing that one should not shake hands because, you know, if you don't really know the person, he might have some weapon or something. Yeah, there is some explanation. Um, of course, in the Vedic culture, not only we, you know, those whom we know, like amongst devotees, but also we, embrace devotees. Mahaprabhu especially displayed. We're very close and intimate with devotees. I mean, people whom we know, whom we trust. But yeah, the expression sadhu sadhu. Sometimes devotees use it, but it's going to take some time before it becomes part of our dealings. We have many, actually, because most of the devotees, except for those, let's say, who are living in the temple, those who are living in the temple or going to a temple, let's say, all the time, naturally they will be able to display and manifest many of these cultural aspects. But most of our devotees are much less having that kind of ongoing, more intense uh, interaction or association. And therefore, I would say that, which is part of the larger plan also, as we establish and develop communities of devotees, then that's where we can more easily, more quickly also introduce various practices that otherwise will take quite some time. Because uh, we speak about Vedic culture, it's a whole culture. It's a whole culture that is meant to be expressed and seen and demonstrated by how we speak, by how we clap or don't clap when something, yeah. So that's why it's so important, and that's part of the big plan to um, to re-establish uh, communities of devotees, which in the Vedic culture means villages. So that's why one of our mandates, our third mandate, the last mandate after establishing and training uh, individuals, like in Gurukul, after establishing Varnashram colleges where everyone, regardless of one's position in society, will learn actually uh, about the Vedic culture in its finer points, that is connected with Vaishnav etiquette, for example, how to interact with one another. And so when we take all of this knowledge and this culture in a community setting, then that's when it's meant to be displayed more and more, and therefore the expression sadhu sadhu at that time will come more easily.
We see quite a few instances where the intention is to appreciate, but because lack of training, one ends up insulting. For instance, clapping is more for like theatrical performance. So, after a class, when someone claps, it seems you're equating that to some kind of a theatrical performance. It translates being an insult. The other one is when the senior devotee arrives and sits on the Vyasasan, or in order of appreciation, people say Hari Bol, but then that becomes like an instruction. Hari Bol means you're asking that personality to chant the name of Hari. I saw one instance when a sannyasi suddenly said, okay, Hari, 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 because he said Hari Bol 3 times.
Right.
But it's generally Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that to the juniors to entice them to chant. So sometimes that expression is also used out of context and in many inappropriate ways.
Yeah, there are many things to tweet. I mean, there's many things to adjust, and because we are like children, children, when they grow up, they they're still in the learning phase of how to do things properly, how to speak, etc. Like that. Yeah. Gradually, I mean, of course, when we say Haribol, the intention is good, but the finer aspects gradually will, I suppose, be introduced. Yeah. I mean, even how we chant, I mean, because Srila Prabhupada introduced the whole Vedic culture by having all of us learn and chant prayers that's not in our first language. And, if we listen attentively to certain translations or expressions of the common daily songs that we sing, there's all kinds of variances. Some of them is like totally incorrect. Yeah. But it's, because actually what Prabhupada uh, has been doing, uh, you know, it's like to bring a complete, to transplant actually, transplant a whole culture and a very, uh, very profound culture, very deep culture in barren land. You know, it's like going to the desert, to the desert, and just trying to make that desert. Yeah, right. So it takes a certain amount of time for, um, but it's just like people chant Hare Krishna. People from Orissa, they chant Hare Krishna differently. They say the word Krishna as Krishna, and people in Russia have their own way also. Different countries. But Krishna looks at what's behind.
Maharaj, about Parikshit Maharaj family members. Just looks like in Vedic culture it's absolute. They should be remain in distance when someone is dying. But in modern culture, all the family members comes together and want to be present when someone is dying. So it's quite different. So can you say that it could be, adjusted the modern desire of family members to be present on the Vedic understanding that they should keep distance because they may not have the person by their mutual attraction, then could be a distraction for the dying person. So,
If the family members are devotees, no problem. But the problem arises because in general society, um, the person dying and those who are there witnessing it are both. It's a total mess. It's a total misunderstanding. Um, I don't think there's uh, an injunction as such that family members cannot or should not be there.
Bhishma Dev,
Bhishma Dev.
because
Yeah, right.
passing away, Arjuna, Yudhishthira, everyone.
All the close
not
relatives.
family members, they are disciples, and we have to
Arjuna
teach
is
them.
a family member of Bhishma Dev.
Disciple. Also, disciple, we have to teach them. So it's not the same as.
All elders are
Well,
teachers.
grandfather Bhishma Dev, by the time he left his body, so many people were already gone, right?
Yeah, we have actually no such. Yeah, but Dhritarashtra have to leave the family, and Uttara comes only the last minute, and it's kind of, and the wife doesn't mention, the son is not mentioned here. Maybe he's dead, but not, I don't know. So it looks like
Well, I mean, Parikshit Maharaj was someone very special. I mean, he was an emperor, and it's like it was a major event where um, we especially hear of the presence of great saintly persons, demigods, and other. There might have been family members present. Somehow they're not mentioned here. Yeah. The ideal naturally is to be um, surrounded by people who understand what's going on, because most most people who are present um, when one of their relatives is leaving the body are generally not very helpful. I mean, because they're all emotionally stressed out, and it's a very they don't they have no clue or understanding how to actually help that individual, and uh, it's a completely emotionally packed, uh, scene that usually goes on for sometimes many days or whatever.
Alright. In the Bhagavatam, especially, it is mentioned that it is better to leave our body alone.
Yes,
Like in the Himalaya, like Pandava, like
yes,
like that. And in ISKCON, we try to leave our body with devotee around.
yes.
So, what are the? This means the two are bona fide system. Can say like that. We said that two systems of leaving the body are okay.
Uh, Two systems are bona fide.
Means to live with devotees, to live our body with devotees, like Srila Prabhupada,
Yes.
or to live alone in the Himalayas, like style.
I would I would say that the injunction or the recommendation uh, to be alone or to go away is if especially if one is surrounded by people who are not devotees, like family members, uh, because then it's like family members who are maybe not, especially those who are not devotees, then they will not be able to properly understand or like that. But yeah, Prabhupada specifically mentioned that in our Krishna consciousness movement, devotees should come to places like Mayapur, Vrindavan, or any place where one can be supported or auspicious place. And just as it is mentioned here, it is most auspicious to be um, in the presence of saintly persons. Yeah, saintly persons will help us to actually uh, leave our body.
It seems that here it was many people were around Maharaj Parikshit.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, he was the emperor of the world. I mean, again, many people were there, but he must have had just some of the more known or closer ones.
I think Acharya shows the example to invite their disciples and other devotees, great devotees, and they are happy in their situation. But Krishna generally disappears, means he wants to be alone, like Krishna is alone when he's leaving the world. Balaram disappears from people, not they are not present, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also disappears.
Yes.
So it's not like they don't want to, how to say, involve others. Maybe I don't know. But otherwise, like Haridas Thakur shows example that everyone comes together and they are happy to be together. Bhishma Dev also happy with his disciples and other members to be together. So it looks like it's two different.
Means both are okay. I mean, authorized. And it will vary. I mean, different factors.
There are traditions when some Eastern traditions that old person just go out and go to the mountain or somewhere, so they disappear. But it's not the bhakti.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
the culture of the devotee.
Right.
My understanding was that the sastric intention is that one should leave home and go to a holy place. Again, the idea being that in a holy place, one is more likely to be surrounded by those who are spiritually inclined.
Yes.
Even if it's not coming from a bhakti tradition, like a lot of places like Kashi, Haridwar, which are more
Yes.
Brahmavadi, Mayavadi kind of places, but still,
Sacred places.
so they have some spiritual inclination.
Yes.
People tend to go to such places like Ajamil. After seeing the Vishnudutas, he left his home in Kanyakubja, which is known as Kanamuj in Uttar Pradesh. He left that place and went to Haridwar, which is the closest spiritual place. And
Yes.
that's where it's described that he went there and took up spiritual life seriously in Haridwar, and then he
Correct.
achieved perfection.
Yes. Yes. So going to holy places is, and that's why Prabhupada recommended devotees to. I mean, India, the whole of India, practically. There's so many special places, holy places. Of course, our temples around the world are holy places also.
Seed of spiritual life.
Yeah, right. Gradually, the whole world is becoming more and more holy place.
A much better place than the hospital. And you want to exercise on your body, what they can
Well-
use in the last moment is so.
Well, that's why Srila Prabhupada was so adamant. Just don't bring me to the hospital, right? Yeah. I mean, the whole mood and mentality, and it's like, you are generally forced to be separated from others, etc. Idea is that in Krishna consciousness, I mean, it's part of the culture that we are seeing here being displayed. we are taught to accept, death as part of life. It's part of the end of life, and it's a totally different perspective than people who have no proper knowledge and understanding. They try to delay. They they torture the body in so many ways. Actually, just trying to extend the life for a few more hours, a few more days, or whatever.
Yesterday we had some bulls coming. It was better.
Yeah, we can offer our booze.
Bulls came yesterday.
No,
He's saying
Outside people. This village, they came without tractor.
Without
tractor,
tractor. Okay.
they brought some bulls.
Okay.
Sometimes
Yeah. Yeah, we're fortunate that so close these activities are going on because, I mean, it's part of what some of our devotees should be learning. Okay. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai,
Jai.
Sri Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Gaura Pimarangi.
Jai.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu,
Sadhu,
sadhu.
sadhu. Yes.